Hey people. This angle is like so high up. I'm not tall enough for it, but y'all, it is the first day of fall. It's time to read all fall spooky, thriller, cozy books because I'm ready to commit to fall. Like, I'm ready to take it serious, and I'm starting it off by having some ramen, very fall-esque. You know, like, it's cold, you want to have some damn soup. I'm saying this like it's not record high temperatures, and it's not even the first day of fall. I literally just lied in the first 30 seconds. It's October 1st when I'm starting this vlog, and it's also 102 degrees. Yes, you heard that correctly. It's 102 degrees on October 1st. What is Greta Thunberg's plan for this? But anyway, I'm super excited because this is a fall reading vlog, so I'm gonna be reading fall-ish books. Kind of. So the first book I'm currently reading is Twilight. I started it last night. And it's actually for my work's book club, so like I'm reading that for a specific reason. And then I'm also gonna read 2 Kristin Hannah books, hopefully in this same vlog since they're ready to be picked up from the library. So I'm also excited for that as well because I've heard nothing but great reviews on both of these specific books. So yeah, I'm ready to freaking dive into it. I am on my lunch break at work, so there will be no reading done. Also, this is my favorite kimchi if anyone cares. If anyone cares, if this brand is out there. I put a crap ton of this in my ramen. And I put the juice in there because it makes it taste fire. Since I'm on my lunch break at work, this is really just the intro. I'm not going to do any sort of reading because I'm trying to be an iPad baby and watch YouTube videos on my lunch. But once you see me in the next clip, I'll show you where I'm at in Twilight, what I'm thinking so far, because the rumors are true. I have already read Twilight and I binge watched all the movies in one sitting years ago. Like, I already know what goes down, but this is just a fun, unserious pick for my work's book club. So, you know, it's a good time anyway. And I feel like it's very fall, like, hello, Forks, Washington, like, let's be serious. I figured what a better way to start, you know, my fall reading vlog than with reading Twilight. Like, that makes perfect sense. I'm gonna go enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next clip. I'm very sorry if you can hear the AC in the back, but it's over 100 degrees today, and it's also a week later, or it's about to be a week later, because today is Sunday and that first clip was filmed on Monday. My apologies for always sucking at these reading vlogs, but I always lock in after I take a week of not doing anything. Well, actually, I just didn't film, but I did read. Look at where I'm at in the book. Yerp. So when I filmed that clip, I think I was on, let me see, I was on chapter 5, 6, and now I'm on chapter 16. She's meeting the family, which is kind of crazy. I can't believe she's barely meeting them, and I'm over halfway in the goddamn book. So far, I'm liking it. Clearly, I'm gonna finish this in like a day or two maybe, so it's gonna be time to read my other books, and I finally picked them up from the library in the week that I was gone. So here's a quick little library haul. They're both books from Kristin Hannah. The first one, The Nightingale. I'm really excited about this because I saw a Haley Pham video where she was like reading books from Paris, and this was one of them, and it just sounded good for when she was reading it, so I'm excited about it. And then the next one is The Woman. So it's like this is a historical fiction, and this is also historical fiction. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna need a little thriller in the middle of it, or a very short romance novel in the middle of that book to kind of like be a palate cleanser before I don't know if I can read them back to back, but I also don't know if I can read 4 freaking books in a week. Twilight is almost done, and it was hard to really get into the fall vibes despite her constantly talking about how rainy it is and ugly and gloomy Forks, Washington is, because it was so freaking hot every time I went outside. I wanted to kill myself. I'm not even playing. It's actually unbearable going outside right now. So that's why I have to see if using this little rinky-dink mic can suffice the AC, because the last video I filmed, you can really hear the AC going that I had to completely scrap it because it was just super loud, and I don't have a mic. I don't have a real mic, okay? I'll give you my final thoughts considering, I don't know, I'm really enjoying it like I said in that first clip, and I'm still enjoying it. Like, I really thought I was going to get bored, or I was just going to be like, this is too cheesy, too corny, too YA. Clearly, I'm a sucker for Twilight, and actually, this reread has made me actually want to read the other books. I can't really, I don't know, like, I've kind of given up on series. Like, the last series I fully reread was Harry Potter, which was years and years ago, and Heartstopper, but they're like actively doing new books. And Heartstopper is family to me. Actually, that's another thing that happened in the past week. Heartstopper season 3 came out, and I'm about to watch that. Probably binge it, actually, because I'm also going to go see Ouija Project. Yeah, and I'm super excited because I literally love everyone in that freaking show. Like, I will support anything they do. I also am going to go see, is it called The Good Robot? No, it's called The Wild Robot. Yeah, I'm going to go see that because it's with Kit Connor as well. And if I could fly to New York and watch Romeo and Juliet, I would have done that as well. I'm not super into Marvel anymore, and I'm not going to watch Joe Locke in his Agatha show, but I'm supporting him from afar. But yeah, I'll catch y'all with my final thoughts on Twilight because, again, I'm just raving about it. There's not really much to say. I might commit and read the full series, not now, because I have to like place the holds on the library, but maybe one day, maybe soon, maybe when it's actually freaking cold outside in like November, clearly, because we're in October and it's over 100 degrees. This is ridiculous. But yes, I will see you when I see you. I'm back. She was excellent. I'm pretty sure like there's not really much to say with my final thoughts on Twilight because I feel like this is a book that people have either already seen the movie or they have read this book. And y'all know it's an unserious book. Bella, you need to calm down. Honestly, I feel like this book was, okay, actually my one gripe with it is I think it's too long. It is, like with the epilogue, it's close to 500. Like I think it's like 497, 498 pages. No. And the reason it's so long is because we constantly hear Bella's mind of being like, I'm so irrevocably in love with him, you know, that famous line. And it's like, we constantly get pages of just her, you know, explaining why she's so down bad for this man, which I get it. Like, if a man told me I was his heroine, I would put on an apron and I would get in the kitchen. But the thing is, I don't need to hear all that. I really don't. Like, it's too damn much. So I feel like if this book cut out like 100 pages, it would have been a 5-star. Honestly, it would have been a 5-star because it's fun. It's unserious. I don't know. For me personally, it's like when you go through books like these where it's like YA, vampires, and like a normal ass girl that I guess supposedly a vampire would, you know, say is his type of heroine, which is crazy. But like you have to get rid of the realism because it's already not real because it's like vampires and werewolves. Be dead ass. But then it's also, Stephenie Meyer is a self-insert in this. I'm pretty sure she based Bella off of herself. You just got to take the realism out of it. You got to go into like, okay, if I was 13, 14 and I had a fantasy of what my dream man would be, let me write this book. Like that's what she did. And I think that's really beautiful. Like, trust me, I would have written a book about me and Zayn Malik. Like, I probably would still write that actually, but I don't know, y'all. I'm a Twilight defender for real. But after this book, I did start The Woman, and I'm 50-ish pages. Yeah, I'm 50 pages in. You can't tell because this book is effing ginormous. But y'all, I'm loving it. I'm surprisingly really enjoying this book. So I can tell you what I have read so far because it's going to be non-spoiler, honestly, since I've read only 50 pages. But basically, we follow this woman named Frankie who is 20 years old, 20 or 21. And her brother is enlisting into the Vietnam War because her father is really into the family history of like, look at all of the men who are heroes and have gone and fought for their country. Like, look how important it is, blah, blah. So the brother Finley was like, that's basically what he had to do, not necessarily what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like, he felt like he had to go to this war because of his father believing, like, I forgot their last name, but because every man, you know, did something great in the war, like they got a Purple Heart or they did some other crap. But basically, Frankie wonders when she's in her dad's office, like, why is there no woman on his wall when he puts like heroes, like the family heroes, like there's not a single woman up there. And she's like, what the freak? And basically Finley's friend, I forgot his name, comes into that room and they're like looking at that wall and he basically tells her like, oh, women can be heroes too. It's 1966, get a grip. And that basically like turns something in her brain and she's like, you're right. I can be a nurse and I can go to Vietnam and help those people. Like, nurses are heroes too. And so yeah, basically we follow her as she enlists in the army and she goes to the Vietnam War. So basically she's like started out, like she's already done her first 2 days, I think, working as a nurse in Vietnam. And yikes, like while I'm reading this book, I realize as well, like we do not really talk about the women in America who went to Vietnam to help the soldiers, the women in Vietnam who sacrificed a lot and also have PTSD. Like, yes, they may not have fought in the war, but they have suffered PTSD. Like the amount of things that she's describing in this book that Frankie has already seen, I'm like, so yeah, I'm really loving it, which I'm surprised about because it's historical fiction and it's about a war. No tea, no shade. Thank you, I guess, to all the soldiers. No, I shouldn't say I guess. Thank you to the soldiers, but I don't really like pay attention to the war like that. So that's why I feel kind of bad. Like to me, since I'm trying to remember what year it was when I was like in the 7th and 8th grade when I learned about the Vietnam War, but to me it just felt so long ago that I couldn't really comprehend and imagine all of the people going through that, like Americans, the Vietnamese people, like everyone in that country who was there at that time. Like I can't imagine what they have gone through. So I think that's why I like disassociated myself with it when I was learning about it in history class. But while I'm reading this book, I'm like, damn, I really love women like Kamala Harris. If you can hear me, Kamala, please. But yeah, that's what I felt when I was reading this book. I was just thinking, Kamala Harris, please and thank you, Queen. Please and thank you, Kamala Harris, if you can hear me. I know you're gonna get in there. Kamala Harris, what are you gonna do to get me $10,000 from Mr. B's? Okay, I'm done. Anyway, yes, I'll let you know when I'm halfway through the book what my thoughts are. I'm really liking it so far, so I feel like I'm gonna probably read this faster than I read Twilight, because keep in mind, this was like a book club pick for my work, just for like the fun and giggles of it. No one liked it actually besides me. I will see y'all in another clip. This is now where I'm going to give y'all my midway point thoughts and opinions because, oh my god, this book. Also, I'm trying a new Dutch Bros drink and it's freaking fire. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my PC in the background. I was playing Sims. Let me say what page I'm on. Okay, I'm on page 257, chapter 21. Y'all, this book, let me just start off by saying this book is the first book to ever make me cry. I have finally cried at a book. Can y'all believe that? I have never once cried reading a book, and I've read quite a few books in my life, I feel like, and some pretty sad ones, and this is the first one to make me freaking cry. I vividly remember being 14 and like trying to force myself to cry at The Fault in Our Stars. If you know, you know. And I literally could not get tears to form even. Like I literally could not get myself to cry because I knew the part that was sad, because I'm pretty sure I watched the movie first before I read Fault in Our Stars. And so I knew what the sad part was, and I still couldn't cry. And I wanted to badly, trust me. And no, didn't happen. But this book, I want this to be spoiler free, but I so badly like freaking like turning purple in the face. Like I want to spit out what made me cry, but I won't. Just know, first of all, is this war propaganda? I don't fully know, because I'm truly being like, well, actually, no, it's not war propaganda. Because in the book, I feel like it's okay for me to say this, they don't necessarily, like, when she oh no, that's a freaking spoiler. God damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna say I don't necessarily know if this is war propaganda or not, but here's the thing, it's working on me, I guess. Here's the thing though, I am anti-war. I am anti-war, always have been. And the thing with this book is they do talk about the aspects of like America lying, you know, when Vietnam War was happening, and how like, oh, America's clearly winning, you know, like we've had X amount of deaths, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously our narrator, our main character, is saying this is completely false. Like there is no winner here. Like there's hundreds of boys, really. Like it was boys that were going out there to fight for their country. They were saying they should, you know, like it was their duty to do so. And they were dying. And like, I find it so crazy that I didn't even realize, like, holy cow, because of this war, like people like the main character in the novel, yeah, they were getting nothing in return when a family member passed away. Like their body was that like there was no body. I truly think it might be a 5-star read. And I went on Goodreads and Storygraph already, and the ratings are pretty good for the book. And specifically on Goodreads, here's the tea with Goodreads though. Goodreads, I don't really trust a lot of the people's opinions on Goodreads because I feel like it's so easy to get swayed by the majority opinion on there, and I don't know, like, it's just So a majority of people rated this book 5 stars. However, I do think that is very valid. Like, I am really liking this book. It probably will be a 5-star read. However, it is pretty long. I'm halfway, like I said, and I still have another 200 pages to go because this book is close to 500 pages. And I don't know, y'all, like, it really makes me wonder, like, why does a book need to be over 450 pages? Why? What else do you need to keep saying? So I'm hoping to finish this book. Well, today is Saturday, so I'm hoping to finish this book tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get a good chunk of it done today, so that's why I hope I can finish it tomorrow, because I'm also trying to watch Broad City as well, like, and maybe play Sims again. So I'm not looking to really read the rest of the day. Like, it's 4 right now, and yeah, I don't know. I also need to start editing this video. Like, I haven't even put all the clips together, so I need to be doing that too. Yeah, this book. Also, another thing that happened with this book I realized is I think it's taking me out of a reading slump. Basically, before I had read Twilight, I read the most awful self-help book ever. It was so incredibly boring, and it just felt like it was the first chapter stretched out thin for the next like 15. And keep in mind, the book was only like 250 pages, and I still felt like it was going on for way too long. Like, the advice they gave was literally all in the first chapter, and then they were just trying to make like some word count or something to get published, I guess. So it fully like was not worth me reading, and I know I should have DNF'd it. I regret not DNFing it, honestly, because it put me in such a bad slump. Like, I really enjoyed reading Twilight. It was YA. It was pretty like digestible, like, it was very easy to read. Why didn't I just DNF that freaking book? And I don't like to rate books 1 stars, so I gave it 2 stars, which is basically how you know I hated an effing book. But because 2.5 means it's like, that's a real honest like 2.5 star rating. But if a book is 2 stars, I probably hated it. Like, I more than likely wanted to give it 1, but I just like feel bad. But I should stop giving an F, honestly. And like, it's my opinion, so I should just start rating books how I feel, and I should start DNFing it. But the dilemma I have is that since I log the books I read into both Storygraph and Goodreads, Storygraph is awesome in the fact that I can just click DNF a book and it automatically puts it in its own category. However, with Goodreads, it's impossible to DNF a book. Like, it will still kind of show up on like currently reading or read. Like, you have to mark it as read even if you DNF'd it, because there's no other option. Like, you can move it to a shelf that says DNF'd, but it'll still count towards your reading goal. I don't know how to properly DNF a book on Goodreads. I'm sure some people found some hacks and tricks to know how to not have it like the cover be there or something when you're going on your different shelves for like currently reading or read or want to read, whatever. Yeah, that book put me in such a bad slump. So then Twilight took me significantly longer than it should have to be done with the book, but this is the real winner. Like, I am finally getting like back into my reading groove, because that self-help book that I said, it took me, I think, like over a month to read. That's how badly it put me in that stupid slump. Again, I should have just DNF'd it, but I didn't. But now we're back and better than ever, baby. We are back and better than frickin' ever. So the next time I see y'all, it'll be with my final thoughts and opinions, and I'm really excited about it. And I actually need to finish my puzzle as well. I'm pretty sure that's another thing I threw in here. Like, I'm doing a puzzle, and I'm so excited. But yeah, I will see y'all when I'm done with the book. Okay, people. I completed it. I completed it last night. I'm currently on my lunch for work, and I'm exhausted because I stayed up to finish this, considering I was playing Sims damn near all day instead of reading, but whatever. I had a ball in my throat towards the end. Like, I had a good feeling I was gonna cry, but I didn't. Still, I cannot believe that I did cry reading this book, because it's the first book to freaking make me cry, and it's just absolutely insane to me. But anyway, my final thoughts are, it's actually not a 5-star read. On my Goodreads, since you can't do like point ratings, it is a 5-star, and it's in my top 24 reads. And there's only 2 books on there. Only 2 books. This is the second. But on Storygraph, I gave it 4.75. And you're probably like, bitch, 4.75? That's a 5-star. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Here is the kicker. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, even though, like, bro, I want to say exactly why because it would make more sense. But if you have read this book, just know the last 50 pages, there is a character that is introduced that I'm like, is this necessary to the story? Like, I feel like it was for Kristin to just like wrap everything up in a tiny little bow for our main character, Frankie. And I'm like, no. I don't know why it bothered me that this character was like reintroduced. And it happened in the last, like, I shouldn't say 50 pages. It happened in the last like 10 pages that I'm like, and I feel like with the history that comes with this book and the mentality, especially that the generation her parents came from, it wouldn't turn out like this. Like, realistically, I think a lot of women who went to Vietnam and their family were like, for Frankie, she got lucky and, you know, everything was wrapped up in a good little bow for her. But I just feel like realistic, why am I trying to act like this is a memoir? I don't know. Maybe I should shut up and stop being critical, but it's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I think I said in the beginning I was supposed to read The Nightingale too, but here is the kicker. This book video is gonna go on for like 3 weeks, and that's not okay for me. Like, I'm trying to film this other reading video because I saw like a different YouTuber make it, and obviously all credit to her, but I'll post that, you know, when I actually do it, and I'm really excited to film it. So yeah, I'm gonna end this reading vlog here, you know, only having read Twilight and The Woman, and I thought I was gonna read more, but that's okay. I truly do think though this is a very important book to read, especially if you don't have that much knowledge on Vietnam War like myself. I started feeling bad more so on my own ideas on how could I as a woman even forget that, like, or not even forget, like, just not even consider that women were in Vietnam War. Like, in that time frame, really only women were being nurses and having that career. So it's like, of course, they would be the ones out there helping the men and sending them home back in one piece, hopefully. And even if they weren't back in one piece, they were sending them back home, which was just enough. So it's like, I find it so crazy that I didn't even like think of that, even though I'm a girl. So that just goes to show there's like a lot of work still to be done, you know. And a very important thing in the story, which I don't know if it'll be a spoiler or not, but I'm gonna just say it anyway, but a lot of what is getting told to the women who were out there at Vietnam is they're constantly getting told there actually were no women. You didn't see combat, you weren't actually out fighting the war, so you don't know what it's like, and there was no woman in Vietnam. And it's like crazy because I feel like even the present day women who go out and, you know, apply and are in combat currently, or they are nurses, I feel like people don't really care about their PTSD, honestly. Like, all I ever hear about are like the strong men soldiers, right, that are fighting for our country, but it's like women are fighting for our country as well. Women are also doing that. And it's just still kind of crazy to me, like the rhetoric back then and the rhetoric now honestly hasn't changed that much when people go to war. So I do find that a little sad. Not a little, it's sad. It's sad. And hopefully something changes soon, but honestly, it's gonna take a long time for a woman to even be considered equal, or to even be, you know, in the same realm of strength that men believe they have over women. So yeah, that's my final thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. I had a lot of fun actually filming it, despite me taking a 1-week break and not really reading. But that's something that always happens when I do reading vlogs. Like, clearly it's just gonna be a cycle. Like, I'm gonna film that intro clip, not touch any book for a week, and then get back into it and really just lock in. So I hope anyone watching considers reading this book or Twilight if they haven't, because I really enjoyed both. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.